Like I see Mr. Miracle and Ms. Cassiato.
I'm here, Your Honor.
I'm here as well, Your Honor.
All right, and ma'am, last time we were here, we were waiting on a interview through CPS or anything from their report. Do we have anything?
I did file a letter from their child abuse expert on Tuesday. I wasn't able to get that until Monday. They didn't receive it until this last weekend.
We've got an affidavit from you. I don't think it's good. All right, have you seen that letter, Mr. Miracle?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, anything else you want to say?
No, we're still just awaiting that my detective on the case is on a medical leave, so we're still waiting for the forensics interview to come back. But that was all in my declaration.
And Mr. Miracle, anything you want to say?
Yes, sir. Well, I had filed, or sorry, I had to mail you guys my declarations. I have 3 of them. I had served Rebecca yesterday.
I have not been with anything, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, hang on.
My aunt is she works for the DOC currently. She's got a top secret security clearance, and she was on site for the entire visit, and she's going to be weighing in on this. I do ask that the protection order be dismissed and have Soren return to me for my 2-week visit.
All right, well, you know, obviously based on what I've got, one, we don't know with any certainty what happened. And 2, anytime we're in a situation like this, I or any judge has to err on the side of caution and on the side of the health of the child. So I'm going to continue suspending visits at this point until we get this sorted out. As of today, I won't be handling this calendar anymore. I assume it will be Commissioner Carmi. So everybody make sure you get anything filed as soon as you can so that the commissioners see them. I am sympathetic also to Mr. Miracle's situation. I don't want you to have to wait any longer than is absolutely necessary.
This is not the first time that something like this has happened, Your Honor.
I understand.
And
so
I've been told by a CPS
at 9 o'clock. So everybody make sure that you've got as much information as you possibly can in front of Commissioner Carmi for that hearing. Understood?
I'm sorry, what was the date on that?
January the 4th, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And John is here.
And Mr. Ellis, the hope was by now we'd have an update from your DV treatment provider.
That has occurred. It actually occurred about an hour after the last court hearing 2 weeks ago. The guardian ad litem submitted an email to me apologizing because she had misread his email to her. I have submitted both her email admission as well as a discussion on what was actually in there, as well as his letter that you requested.
Okay, take a look at this. I had prepped this. I had to prep this docket a couple of days ago. This wasn't there yet, so let me look it over.
No, it didn't come in until Tuesday evening, sir.
All right, so Miss Ellis, anything further that you wish to say?
I guess I do want to go with the professionals' recommendations. I know what I feel, and not really comfortable with unsupervised visits with the older ones yet, but whatever the professionals feel is best also is what I want. I just want what's best for the kids. So.
And Mr. Ellis, anything else you wish to say?
No, I believe it's all in there, other than I do wish to thank the Guardian ad litem for catching that. And I did get a copy of the original email, and I too misread it. Even though I knew what it was supposed to say, it was very hard to read. I'm sorry, sir, if I could also add, I was pleasantly surprised that my oldest son did want to visit. I got a 44-minute visit with him on the Saturday, last week Saturday, and it was in the presence of our preacher, and he helped to guide the conversation, and it was Joseph's choice. So that was a nice surprise.
All right, and let me ask you one question. In your proposed parenting plan with the 3 younger, you've got Monday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every even week number. What do you mean by every even week?
No, I'm sorry, that's not. It says and every even week number, Saturday 4 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. So the Monday 4 to 8 p.m. is weekly. So it says every Monday.
And every even week number.
Right. So on a calendar, the weeks are numbered beginning with the full week of the year, January 1st. Our Family Wizard, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, they all support week numbering. So that's what I'm referring to.
There's an even week number system.
Correct. Yeah.
You can tell which one you mean.
Right.
Okay.
I mostly just wanted to differentiate here that they were the opposite weekend of the other group of kids. But this was all created before the counselor's recommendation that supervision not be required so long as the children have whatever they feel is necessary for them to be comfortable with that. So although this is the way I wrote it, I would love to see if we could actually have normal visits without a supervisor, but that's not what was written.
Younger children, I'm going to adopt Mr. Ellis's proposal. So it's every Monday, 4 p.m., 8 p.m., even week for the Family Wizard, Saturday at 4 to Sunday at 6.
Wait, figure it out. Figure it out.
Man, whoever is out in the booth, if you will please keep quiet until your case is called, I appreciate it. As to the 2 older children, I'm glad things are going better. Frankly, my assumption is that the presence of a third party probably helps with that. And I don't want that to go away too soon, because given the ages of the older kids, to some extent they don't get to make the decisions, but their reaction to the decisions that get made are very important. So I want to maintain the current schedule, or pardon me, the schedule as proposed by Mr. Ellis, but it will continue to be supervised. And as it sounds like maybe the pastor is a real good person to facilitate that. Ms. Turnbull, was there anything you wish to add? You're still muted, ma'am.
Thank you. I was in the waiting room, but admitted late, so I didn't hear all that transpired, but I think what I have heard sounds reasonable.
Okay.
So far.
All
and
right.
I apologize for my mistake the last hearing.
I understand it, and as Mr. Ellis pointed out, he had the same reaction when he first read it as well. So they're just confusing language. The one difficulty I've got, well, wait, let's see if that, when we look at the proposed plan.
Detail?
Data minutes won't be a problem. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and sign the proposed.
Here for a 9 o'clock appointment.
Maintaining the language about supervision with 2 older children. And that can go into effect immediately then. What provision have we got for the Christmas holiday?
There is no provisions. Heidi's out of town with the kids right now. She will be back, I believe. Well, she's on the phone. She can tell you when she's going to be back.
Ms. Ellis?
Yes, I'll be back Sunday.
Okay.
We'll just make it up another time, Your Honor. I'm sure that's okay.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. Frankly, it sounds like things are getting a whole lot better just based on the presentations I'm hearing in the course of these hearings. I hope that continues, and good luck to both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
thank Aaron. All right, so my first question is there some sort of restraining order, no contact order in some other case?
No, there was, but I talked to the prosecutor and we don't have that anymore.
Are you sure that's been dismissed?
I'm not quite sure. She's working on it.
Okay, that's really important. Because until it's actually officially dismissed, even if you both agree that it should be, if Mr. Hogan were to violate that order unwittingly, he can still go to jail for it. So before we do anything in this case, we've got to make sure of what's going on in the other case.
Okay, the prosecutor said that she was talking, or she was gonna get in contact with his attorney and then go from there, and that was on Monday.
Okay, and I don't have access to that case right now, wherever it is. It is in district court?
I think so.
Okay. All right, I want to get this sorted out, but we can't do that unless and until we know for sure the other one is dismissed. You both understand that?
Okay, so you can't.
So you can't drop the restraining order that she personally asked
Mr. Hogan? I can't hear you, sir. You're really, really quiet.
I'm sorry. So you can't drop the restraining order that
Yeah, I still can't hear you, sir.
Okay.
So you can't drop the restraining order?
Okay, Mr. Hogan, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, but I cannot hear you. As I said, we need to make sure that the restraining order in other cases resolved before we do anything here.
So she can't just ask you to drop the orders that she has through this court, since she's the one that put them in herself?
I'm getting about every third or fourth word. I heard you say
He said
any restraining order in this case.
he asked
So
if you can drop
You can't
this
drop
restraining
the
order.
And what's your position on that, ma'am?
Who?
You, what's your position about dropping the order that's in this case?
Yeah, can I drop it? If that's possible.
To do?
What was that? Sorry.
Are you asking me to terminate the no contact order that's in this case, the restraining order?
Yes.
Okay. I will do that, but Mr. Hogan, I hope you can hear me. I want to emphasize, even if I do that, if the restraining order in the other case is still there and you violate it, you can go to jail for that. So whatever I do,
No, I won't. I'm not gonna. I have no plans on doing that until after I talk to my
Make
attorney
sure
and
you
she
say
lets me
that
know that the prosecutor told her that it
before
was.
there's any contact. All right, I will sign an order terminating the existing restraining order, and that will be, if you want a copy, that'll be available in the clerk's office.
Okay.
This afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Fisher, can you hear me? You need to unmute the microphone. So is there a no contact order between you two in some other case?
No.
And are you still asking for an order with no contact as to you?
Yes.
And Mr. Fisher, what's your position?
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was that?
What's your position? What are you at?
I would like for it to be dropped, not because I want contact with Chloe, just because I would rather not have it placed on my record. I submitted some paperwork.
Yeah, I looked at that. Okay. A lot of tests where both of you are acting like real fools. Ma'am, is there anything else what's your basis for wanting the no contact order with him?
I don't want him showing up at my house whenever he feels like it. I just want to live in peace and not worry about cars that come by.
You're engaging in all the lunacy with him in text.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You're engaging with all the lunacy with him in the text messages. If you don't want any contact, it seems like you're enjoying the fight over the text.
Those text messages were in the beginning of our separation. I haven't had contact with him in 12 days. So the only contact I have through Sean is through email now.
Okay, well, yeah, based on what I've seen, I don't see any basis for a no contact order between the two of you. It looks like you're giving as good as you get. And I suggest both of you grow up real quick. Now, in terms of the parenting plan, ma'am, what's your position?
Sean gets the kids every other weekend from 5 on Friday to 5 on Sunday.
And Mr. Fisher, what's your position?
I would like to have them more than that. I would like them every weekend.
Are you employed, sir?
Yes.
And what's your work schedule?
Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2:45.
And ma'am, are you employed?
Yes.
And what's your work schedule?
Saturday through Wednesday.
Every week?
Yes.
And what time of day?
I work like swing shifts. So in the evenings.
And what time does your shift start?
2 to 8. So 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay, so what we're going to do is Ms. Fisher is the primary parent. Mr. Fisher has the children alternating weekends. So one weekend it starts from 5 p.m. on Friday until 6 p.m. on Sunday. And then the alternating weekend he's got from noon on Saturday until 6 p.m. on Sunday, which I think works best with both your schedules. So, Ms. Fisher, what you need to do now is prepare a parenting plan that lays that out. Get that to Mr. Fisher. Mr. Fisher, if you're satisfied that what she gives you accurately reflects what I just ordered, go ahead and sign it. Get it to the clerk's office. They'll get it to me for signature. You understand that?
So every weekend, just one weekend starts on Saturday?
Yes. Understood?
Yep, sir.
I understand that a real difficult and emotional time for both of them. Your children deserve both of your absolute best efforts. It's easy to let things spiral out of control very quickly in texts or in emails. Just both of you look at yourselves in the mirror and say, I'm not going to do that. The kids are too important, please. Understood?
Absolutely.
All right. And we'll put it on next week at the same time, the 28th, to sign that parenting plan if there's a problem, but you should be able to get it all in to the clerk's office before then. If you got it in, you both signed off of it. You don't need to be here on the 28th for that hearing. Understood?
Yep.
Okay, and you, ma'am, that understood? All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
This is Juanita Smith.
There we go.
Ma'am, I see that you have noted this back up to ask them to terminate the guardianship again, but we got the same problem as last time. I don't have any.
Yeah, so this time I went to I had the sheriff's, paid for the sheriff's office to serve her. I had the paperwork taken in on the 8th of December, paid their $40 fee, and they never served her.
Okay, so unless and until we've got service both on the child and on the parent, there's not a whole lot I can do.
I understand that, yeah, and I'm gonna keep trying to figure out how to get her served. I mean, I've sent multiple people to her house. She won't answer the door. The sheriff's department, I paid them to provide the service and they didn't do it. So I don't know how else to get her served.
Well, there are
I
private
filed them.
might consider hiring, and I would talk to the sheriff's office and find out what the problem was.
They said they were too busy to get her served in time.
Okay, well, that happens sometimes. So, yeah, I would consider talking to the sheriff again, or you might consider hiring a private processor.
Yeah, I don't know how I would hire a private processor because I'm in Idaho, and I didn't even sent in a thing trying to serve her by mail, and that was denied because she lives in Washington.
Okay, well, I will strike today's hearing, and hopefully you can get that service accomplished.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Guardian? We're moving along on a visitation schedule. Where do we stand?
I think the whole point of today was because he couldn't open the schedule up for next year to place a date in, I think, March for us to come back after our 6 months of this phase that we started in September.
Let me look at the order here. Is that visitation schedule going on at this point?
Yes.
Yes.
And so other than just that review date, anybody have anything else they think needs done at this point?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I have had a few issues recently, and I don't know if we should address that at the next one or here.
What kind of issues are we talking about?
One, the first thing I wanted to ask is, I don't know if it's the same for all court cases, but I wanted to see if there was an option of getting a court-appointed attorney for me. I can't afford one on my own, but I just thought I would ask because this case has gone on for so long and I definitely need some assistance with it.
Making that request in writing, and then we can address it.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll set the review hearing for March the 7th, and that'll be at 10:30.
Okay, March the 7th.
Yes, and get your motion filed well before then, if that's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kendra Yasanovich here.
And Aaron Winkles on behalf of the children.
And Casey Looney on behalf of the state of Washington.
So first question.
Hi, Your Honor.
And the mother Tesla is here as well.
Yeah, I see her name. So how are the visits going from everybody seeing?
I missed last week. We had communication problems with our cell phones, but I still haven't got to see my daughter yet. But this next weekend I should still, or the next coming up weekend, I should be getting the boys at least.
You'll be getting what?
The boys, boys. But I don't know what's going on with my daughter, so.
And Your Honor, I'm not sure, and I did ask Tesla as well. We submitted a proposed parenting plan, final orders, because you already had the evidentiary hearings. The children did weigh in on that. The daughter wants to see her mother, not at this point, but I believe Tesla is right on the road to recovery. She just wants to see another hair follicle. She wants a little bit more time to go past. But I haven't heard back from Tesla. I want to make sure she has that final order that we submitted.
I haven't talked to you at all, and I never got that. No.
Okay. All right. We attempted to have it served at Oxford House. I can email it to you. We also did email it, but we might have the wrong email. I can give that to the guardian and she can maybe email it to you as long as she has a correct email for you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make a new email because this one's full. Because Kendra said she tried to email it to me too. So I
Okay,
have to make a new email.
Ms. Winkle, one
Yes,
suggestion, maybe you can send it to the drug court office.
that I can do.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, and Ms. Yasanovich, how's everything going from your standpoint?
Good. I mean, everything is good. Last weekend, like Tesla said, there was some miscommunication. I got a new cell phone and apparently she didn't get my messages. And then she did tell me that her email was full. So there was no communication. I do need Tesla to get on the Close app. I've sent the request a few times to her and she's not getting it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But in order for us to communicate so there's no problem, the Close app seems to be a good way to go, but we need to be both connected and I'm already on it. So if she could get connected, that would be awesome.
All right,
Okay, I am connected. I'll have to look on there.
And I can send you another request as well.
If you'll send that email to drug court as well, make sure everybody's in communication.
And also, I UA more than once a week for drug court, and I believe I did sign an ROI for that, so everyone can see that.
Okay, yeah, and again, check with drug court and make sure they've got that information so they can provide.
And just one more thing, Your Honor, the youngest child does want an additional night with his mother, and I've talked to the guardian about this. I provided the youngest child with a cell phone. It's the oldest cell phone known to man. It's kind of, if you remember the 1990s, it does nothing but make a phone call. It's a block. And so he will need to keep that with him when he has the additional overnights, as long as Tesla is okay with having that additional overnight where she's at. But he would like to start that. That would be the 5-year-old.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's do this. Let's put it on in 2 weeks to sign, hopefully, the final orders. And in between time, maybe until Miss Ivy's got her electronics sorted, we can use drug court as kind of a middleman. Miss Ivy, I will not be doing this calendar in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We'll set it for January 4th. I just want to tell you, well done. Things are a lot better.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll have 9 months on the 27th.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Have a good day, Your Honor. Have a good Christmas.
Kristen Dow present, representing the guardian, Jamie West.
Luana Jones here this morning on behalf of the mother, Marlene Melton.
And we have Ms. Farr.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
So let's start there. Ms. Farr, where are we at?
So, Your Honor, I had a follow-up call with both the mother and the petitioner earlier this week over a visitation issue that just recently happened. And because of that, I feel like I need to speak with the child one more time. And so I haven't prepared my report because of that. So I'd like to speak with the child and then get my report filed.
Ms. Dow?
Your Honor, Ms. Farr has a role to play here and we'd like to see that taken care of.
And Ms. Jones?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much more to add to that. We're of course hoping to have the report sooner rather than later, but the process is the process, and we're looking forward to receiving it.
All right, 2 weeks, Ms. Farr, that's sufficient?
With the holidays, Your Honor, I'd rather have 3 because I actually need the report filed 10 days before the next hearing. However, I'm not available on the 11th.
Okay, the 18th then?
Yes, please.
All right, January 18th, 10:30.
Number 7.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I learned this morning, Your Honor, that a separate motion and order is required to get a statement from CPS stating that there are no CPS records. So we are waiting on that for entry of a final order. And I will mail those up this afternoon for ex parte entry to get that order signed. And
Did they give you any indication how long that might take?
Well, I spoke to Ms. Farr this morning, and she thinks once that DCYF receives the order that it's about 3 weeks for a response. And there are no CPS records. We just need, before a final order entered, a statement saying that there are no CPS records. And so based on my understanding, the guardian ad litem is recommending that the petition be granted and that the petitioner be appointed as guardian for both Michael and Ryan Bolt. And so I was wondering if, Your Honor, since there has been multiple setovers and continuances in this matter, if upon the filing of proof of no CPS records and of the guardian ad litem's reports and proof of service of both, if we could present a final order appointing off docket opposed to setting this over for a final hearing.
I don't have any problem with that, except that as of today, I will no longer be doing this calendar. So just to make sure it doesn't get lost, let's set a date out a ways, and then if you get all that beforehand, you can go ahead and present the order off docket. That would be fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we could go ahead and set this on for the 18th then.
All right.
And then hopefully we get an order up entered ex parte sooner.
All right, January 18th, 10:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hello. Oh, no. Oh, we're gonna.
Yes.
My camera being weird. You hear me? Hold on. There you go.
Ms. Booth.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Ms. Booth, what is your position at this point?
My position as I don't understand the question.
All right, what's your position as regards the proposed guardianship?
So as a proposed guardianship, I believe JC is sufficient enough to take care of Elijah. Before when April took guardianship of Elijah, I just went in and signed guardianship over for Elijah. Right now I currently live in North Dakota, so I can't really do that. So I'm hoping that I can just use like word of mouth, to the court that I approve it. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Agreement with the guardianship at this point or not?
I am, yes.
And it doesn't look like we have Mr. Condro.
No.
All right. And okay, so Ms. Goodrum, this is a horrible, horrible statute that we're working under. So you filed a petition for the emergency guardianship.
Yeah.
That basically, excuse me, limits me to 60 days at a time. Okay, separate and apart from that, you need to file the petition for the full guardianship that will get us off this 60-day clock, if you will. So what I'm going to do today is I'll sign an order extending it, the emergency guardianship, for 60 days. What you need to do in the interim then is file and serve the petition for the minor guardianship. That's not the emergency guardianship. Understood?
Kind of. That would be me, right?
Like I say, the statute is very poorly written. It doesn't work very well. I wish it did. But if you take a look at the forms under guardianship, you'll find the petition for, it's just petition for guardianship as opposed to petition for emergency guardianship. And maybe that'll get you started.
So I'm a little confused because the people who got guardianship of Elijah did the exact same thing and they were granted guardianship like
like all my sister Johnny had to do was just sign it over, and then they pretty much got guardianship. So
it still has to be done that way under that statute, regardless of any prior proceedings. Okay, so
right, so do I have emergency guardianship? Like, am I able?
In order extending the emergency guardianship for another 60 days.
Okay, so I'm her guardian for 60 days, and then I have to file just guardianship, and I do that with Johnny, correct? Like,
Yeah.
I file it against Johnny.
Get that done in the meantime, and then I will set a date for a review hearing in this case for, let's see, February 22 at 10:30.
Okay, February 22 at 10:30. And then I asked in the petition about her car because April Condro is withholding her vehicle that Elijah paid for and worked for. Can I get that back?
Whose name is it in?
It's in April's name.
I bought the
but
car.
Elijah bought the car.
I paid for everything for it. They didn't put a penny towards it, and they're not wanting to give it back.
All right, if it's in her name, I can't order it returned without her having notice and having a hearing about that. Maybe the simplest way to do that is going to be in a small claims action, or you can make his guardianship, but she's got to be served with.
Yeah, she said that she's willing to hand it over as long as she's not responsible for Elijah any longer.
Okay, well, hopefully you can get that worked out in the meantime. Obviously, you're going to have to take care of insurance and that kind of thing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
If she's agreeable to court proceeding, you just need to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then JC can just serve me through email, correct?
She has guardianship right now for that case.
I can't dismiss that case since it's not on the calendar here, but we're just, I'm doing a superseding emergency order. All right.
So, sir.
Yes.
So when JC serves me, because I live in North Dakota, she can just serve me like through email?
If you're agreeable to that, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so February 2nd.
February.
Sorry, you cut out. February 22nd.
Yes.
Okay, the same time, I'm assuming.
All right.
Rebecca back
Yeah.
here, Your Honor.
And her mother, Vanessa Rowley, is also in attendance.
All right, so Ms. Rowley, any objection to the proposed guardianship?
Yes, I object based on the fact that there's no evidence of whatever the Becks are accusing or wanting to keep guardianship of my daughter for.
Okay, so we need to appoint a guardian ad litem. I'm sorry? Okay. So I'm going to sign an order appointing a guardian ad litem. If you contact the court sometime this afternoon, you can find out who that is. They're in charge of an independent investigation into this. So you both want to talk to that person.
Your Honor, can I just mention that there is incorrect information on this paperwork, and I'd like to bring to attention the jurisdiction in which my daughter has resided in Multnomah County her whole life. And I would just like to bring that to your attention and whatever you decide to do with that.
All right. And where's the... All right, I'm going to grant the emergency guardianship. I'll appoint the guardian ad litem. And again, like I had said to the last person, under this statute, that's good for 60 days. Okay. So we'll set the hearing for February 22 at 10:30. In the meantime, you'll each need to contact the guardian ad litem because whoever that is going to need a lot of information from both of you.
Your Honor, I have a court date next Tuesday, the day after Christmas. Do you still want me to be in attendance for that? It's for guardianship, regular guardianship.
No, we'll strike that.
Okay.
So I will not be needing to attend that either.
So no hearing on the 26th. We are on for February 22. And I'll sign the emergency order.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that's for 10:30 on February, correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, can I please just ask on what grounds? Because I'm working in recovery and whatnot, so.
On what's contained in the petition, which is what I've got to go on at this point, I think it's appropriate.
Even though she's been a Multnomah County resident her whole life and never lived in Washington.
Anything that you want me to consider, please submit in writing. Make sure the guardian ad litem's got it so I can consider it. All right, that will be up.